Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of NB Bassin. I am your host, Donald Patterson. Here with you again this week. Another day, another exciting chapter in my typically chaotic life. Before I go any further, thank you very much to Fish Bum Outfitters, Carrot Sticks Rods, Southern Yankee Baits, War Dog Lures, Northern Michigan Outfitters, and Hooked on Canadian Angling Media Group. Without these companies, I'm not going to say I couldn't do what I do, but they definitely make life a whole lot easier and a lot more fun too. And most importantly, my wife, my son. Without them, I couldn't do what I do. So thanks to them again this week. For the second time today, I'm going to record a show. I recorded one earlier, and where I was, I didn't have adequate signal strength to upload the show, and I'm not sure what I did, but being all thumbs with technology as I tend to be, somehow I deleted the broadcast instead of saving it. So here we are, second kick at the can today. I don't know whether it's going to be better or worse than the first one, but nonetheless, here we are. The spawn is on here in New Brunswick, and I'm sure in other areas of similar climate as well. Now, the spawn is on, and as far as tournaments go, we take a little time off. We take the month of June off. Oh, excuse me. The province of New Brunswick, we have to have permits, as I'm sure in other jurisdictions you do as well. But we have to have permits when we operate tournaments, and during the month of June, the province of New Brunswick will not issue a permit for a bass tournament, and we don't make any attempt to even change their mind. It's for the benefit of the fishery. We can still go out and fun fish, and most of the guys, I'm not going to tell you that everybody does, but there's always going to be, the occasional idiot no matter what circles you're in. But most of the guys I know are going to fish responsibly. If they are fishing bedding fish, hook them, snap a picture, back in the water, get them back protecting that bed as quickly as possible. It's, I'm not going to, like I say, I'm not going to tell you that we stop fishing entirely, because we definitely don't. But most of the anglers I know are going to do everything in their power to protect the resource, at the same time go out and have a little fun. But just because we've backed off of smallmouth bass tournaments doesn't mean there isn't other stuff going on. Yes, this show is NB Bassin, and yes, my primary focus is our smallmouth fishery and our smallmouth tournament series and my own, adventures on the water. But there are other things going on. This past weekend, the largest, to my knowledge, single tournament in the province of New Brunswick for any species, the Miramichi Striper Cup. And unfortunately, our plans fell through. We weren't able to attend, but I do have to tip my hat to the city of Miramichi, to Mr. Jeff Wilson, to all the volunteers and sponsors and organizers of that event. I should have wrote some numbers down before I came out to the garage to record this evening. So I'm going off the top of my head. 189 boats. 189 boats. This tournament has a shore fishing category as well, and boats are up to a 4-person team. So 189 boats. I believe the number was roughly 600 shore anglers. Unbelievable. Roughly 1,800 participants in the event, if memory serves me correctly. Whether that's accurate or not, just shy of 200 boats, hundreds of people fishing from shore. An unbelievable event for only in its second year. Only in its second year. If you didn't get a chance to go to the NB Bassin Facebook page, log on, go take a look. Last week I shared a video that was shot with, I don't know the brand, but a GoPro type camera, an action camera, an underwater camera, something of that nature. It showed the activity of the striped bass in the Miramichi River. And as I said last week, you could practically walk across the river on their backs. Well, they were coming to the tail end of their spawning cycle or it would appear so anyways. The numbers of fish dropped off. A lot of people said that the bite was a little harder. This Striper Cup tournament has a 2-fish limit per day. The shore fishing category is a CPR tournament, catch, photograph, release. So you're given a token and a measuring tape. Put the token in the pitcher, measure the fish. It goes on length. The boat anglers, they go by weight. And there are so many fish. The biggest issue I have heard is you can see the big ones swimming in these massive schools. But there are so many of the quote-unquote schoolies in your 7 to 10 pound range trying to get a bait by one of them to get it in front of one of these 30-pounders is your biggest challenge. But I don't know about all of you. You tell me I can go spend a day on the water and catch 100 fish in the 7 to 10 pound range, or, with a 7 or 8 pound average. Yeah, I'd love to hook into one of those 30s. But I got a feeling I'm going to have all kinds of fun catching 100 fish that are in the 7, 8, 9 pound range. Probably not going to hurt my feelings. The winning weight, and once again, I should have wrote a little more stuff down before I came out, but it's been another one of those days. One Last Cast, I believe, was the name of the winning team. As I said, these teams can have up to 4 people on them, so they name their teams rather than just using the individual anglers' names. It was One Last Cast, I believe, was the name of the team. 50-ish pounds, right around the 50-pound mark for a 2-day total, so averaging 25 pounds a day for 2 fish. I'll take it. They'll definitely take it. Put $5,000 in their pocket. So congratulations to them, the winners of this year's Miramichi Striper Cup, the 2nd annual Miramichi Striper Cup. I do have to say congratulations to a couple friends of mine. Very, very, very excited to see how they fared over the weekend. Corey Marr and Robert Mason, Team Black Ghost. They called themselves. They pulled off a 2nd place finish, which I believe this was the first time for both of them at the event. So it was a good showing for them as well. So. And as I said before, hats off to Jeff Wilson, the City of Miramichi, and all the organizers and volunteers. I could name some because I know I had some friends working there. I shouldn't name any because I can't name them all. I don't know them all. But from everything I've heard, all the feedback I've heard, all the coverage I've seen online, once again, another successful season for the Miramichi Striper Cup. So, tip of the hat to you folks, and can't wait to see what next year brings. Now, that wrapped up the month of May for fishing here in New Brunswick. That was, that was pretty much I'm not going to say the highlight because it's been an active month of May with some smallmouth tournaments, some really good fish being caught, and then the Striper Cup the last weekend of the month just kind of wrapped things up. Now we're into June. No bass tournaments. Oh, woe is me. What do I do? Well, I know what I'm doing. I'm switching species. Yeah, I'm going to probably get out a couple times and, do a little smallmouth fishing. Nothing, a little bit of practice, a couple practice sessions, getting ready for upcoming tournaments. But this is the month where I switch species and switch focus a little bit. New Brunswick has probably, I don't know if I dare make the statement, the 2nd most popular Second most targeted fish by recreational anglers here in New Brunswick is probably the chain pickerel. That's actually how I started my tournament angling career. That's how Jason and I got started, is doing chain pickerel tournaments. And then we gradually worked our way up and had some success doing chain pickerel tournaments and decided we wanted to move up to a more competitive level, and we switched over to the smallmouth series, and we've been doing it ever since. But in June, it gives us an opportunity to go back. The chain pickerel tournaments are, less money, normally fewer boats, most of the time just for fun. So there is, to the best of my knowledge, a chain pickerel tournament every weekend for the month of June. This weekend, I got some work to do on my boat. Hopefully going out with some friends on Sunday for a little smallmouth fishing. My wife hasn't been able to get out yet this year, and she has Sunday off work, so we're hoping to get out then and find a few smallies. And then next Saturday, not far from home, there's a chain pickerel tournament. And if all goes well, I'm taking my son, my 8-year-old son, just him and me, going to fish this tournament together. It's a charity event, raises money for a local heritage group. 25 will get myself and my son both entered into it. It's just a cheap day on the water. What's wrong with that? It doesn't always have to be about how much money is on the line. I'll take my son. I get to go fishing with my boy for a day. What more can I ask for? Yeah, it'd be great to come home with pockets full of money. But as I've said time and time again, it's just fishing. And there's times I need to remind myself of that. And the opportunity to do something like this with my boy will remind me of just that. I actually think it will be a good thing for me. Bring me back to why I got into tournament fishing in the first place. Get me back to a point where I'm just out having fun. Take some of the pressure off. Just go out and play. And the fact that I get to do it with my son, that's golden in my books. So he's looking forward to it. He turned around to me once I told him what I was planning on doing. And I couldn't help but laugh. It's, still over a week and a half away. And he told me he was putting he's got a Fish Bum t-shirt that he got last Christmas. It says Fish Fear Me on it. And he told me he was putting that t-shirt away until the tournament, because he didn't want to take a chance that it ended up in the laundry and hadn't got washed. He was putting it away until the tournament. So when he and I caught some fish, we could take pictures of us with our fish, with our Fish Bum gear on. So he's absolutely stoked, and I, quite frankly, I could go out that day with him and not care if I got a single bite as long as he does. Because, not only is he my son, he's the future of angling in New Brunswick. And if I can teach him to have fun, do it right, do it responsibly, then, I can know that the future of angling in New Brunswick is bright. I've seen a renewed passion in him for it this year, and I want to kindle that. I want to encourage that every step of the way. So Deacon and I will be going out, and I will keep you apprised of just how we make out. It's still a week and a half away, but I can say I know for a fact that he's pretty excited, and I will have to admit, I am too. So, it's been a long day, folks. I started work this morning at 4 o'clock, and it was 8 o'clock this evening before I got anywhere near home. It's just been one of those days. Like I said, I had a full show recorded. I think